Hey, I would like to put a complaint. Your vinyl is defective.
This is Mr. Wow. Mr. Wow is rapping for many years. Mr. Wow believes he's the best rapper in the world. And of course, Mr. Wow will say,
Of course I used the right technique. And it never happened with any other brand.
But if other brands worked well, why did he move to Arlon? What's the sense to step away from a vinyl which works well? Mr. Wow is closed for any feedback. Whatever I will try to say, he will not listen. He won't even take time to think about it. He sees only one option. Film is defective.
If this was the vinyl failure, I wonder which layer failed. The face stock or the adhesive? I guess the adhesive. But hold on, the rest of the car stays well. So maybe that's the tension which separated adhesive from the face stock. But this section here stays well as on the other vehicle for which I use the other half of the roll. So is it possible that just a part of this roll is defective?
No. The batch of product is 80 to 100 rolls. So imagine we have a defect in the mixture, so some ingredient is missing. Whole batch would be affected. Recess would pop out not only here, but also here, and also on the other vehicle you wrapped, and also on the vehicles where the other 80 to 100 rolls were used. But even if the whole recess would pop out, and also on the other vehicle you did from the same roll, you can send me a batch number. I can check then if we had any issue with the run, and I can also check if there was any problem from the same batch anywhere in the world. If not, I'm afraid it's not the problem of the vinyl.
Well, if it's not the defect of the vinyl, then what?
Bob, do you remember what is cast?
Well, of course. Cast started its life as a liquid and it doesn't have internal tension.
So what does it mean?
It can't shrink if it wasn't stretched.
But don't you think vinyl pops out of the recess because it shrinks?
You're right.
So why does it shrink? It's a cast and doesn't have internal tension.
I used the technique you showed me on our own training course for this section. And this is not stretched, this is stretched. But it still failed. So what happened?
You're forgetting about variables. Maybe car was hot. Maybe it was hot in the room. Maybe you used such a big pressure you stretched it on cold. Maybe your heat gun changed the angle. Maybe the distance changed. I don't know. But you did something that section that shouldn't be stretched is actually stretched. That's why it popped out. Guys, we're always here to help you, but please be aware that our products go through a very strict quality control. If there will be something wrong with the mixture, our computer system will tell us about it immediately, and that batch wouldn't leave the factory. That doesn't mean defects don't happen. But if they do, they are very easy to notice. It might be the ink rejection, it might be some object in the vinyl, it might be some damage coming from shipping from storing, but 99% of cases when vinyl is popping out of the recess is not related to the defect of the film. Mr. Bob and Mr. Wow have completely different approach regarding complaints. Mr. Wow is just grabbing the phone and blaming the vinyl. Mr. Bob is asking questions. You decide who you want to be, Mr. Bob or Mr. Wow.